Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making them mark. Hard way wrestling straight from the heart.
So,
Welcome to Hard Way Wrestling. It is Top Rope Tuesday. What's up, boys?
what up? What up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, that's right. Ricky's paying his little tribute to Sabu. Is it possible that you were the last person Sabu took a picture? What are you doing? Scotty, what the fuck are you doing?
Jesus, Pete.
That is the worst Sabu impression ever.
Yeah.
Is it possible,
You-
Ricky,
you-
that you were the last person to take a picture of Sabu?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
do,
Oh,
do
It
I
was
need, do I
like
need to
3
be
weeks ago, man.
do I need to be bleeding in order to do a good Sabu impersonation?
You absolutely do. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. How was y'all's weekend? How was this weekend's wrestling? I did not get a chance to watch Backlash, and we'll get into it. But how was it?
Honestly, I give it a B- grade. Like it wasn't
bad.
the best show they've ever done, but definitely the matches definitely kept me intrigued. There was only like one match that I was like not really all that interested in, but and even the John Cena and Randy Orton match, which we'll get into in a little bit here, surprised me as to actually how good it actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I watched the fast forward version on Monday morning. Watched some of it. I caught the highlights I wanted to catch, so we'll get into that. But we're gonna kick off the show with a legendary wrestlers passing away. Sabu passed away the other day, which was, it's. I don't get shocked when these guys pass away, but I was a little shocked when this happened because we just saw him.
Yeah.
Right, he just had his final match, WrestleMania weekend, against Joey Janela, Scotty's buddy, and he actually, I mean, he's 60. Well, he's actually 61
60.
years. Yeah, he's 61. If
60.
you go to his death certificate or whatever it was, he's actually 61 and not 60. Wiki has him as 60, I believe, but
Yeah, I thought they listed him at 60.
Yeah, same.
I think they lied about his age. But he actually for going through that match, I thought he looked fairly good or the same as normal Sabu. So
Well, okay. Let's talk about Sabu first, and then we'll get into the repercussions of that because there is some stuff out there, all talked about by Joey Janela himself.
yeah,
About
I
that
posted
match.
the article on our Patreon.
Yeah,
That came out. I don't know if you read that or not, but
Yeah,
yeah, we can kind of get into that. All right, well, we'll get into it anyway. Sabu Terrence Michael Brunk, born 1964, December 12th, 1964, December birthday. So we know nobody gives a fuck about December birthdays. Sorry, Sabu. Professional wrestler, ring name Sabu. He was known as trademark style of hardcore wrestling. That is absolutely the truth. Sabu was a pioneer, was a legendary hardcore wrestler. Zero fucks in the ring. Body did not give it. Look, in great shape. In great shape.
He was the
Yeah.
suicidal, genocidal, homicidal.
That's exactly
Yep.
right. He
I think I got him in the right order.
he did something like that. Some side of sidles.
Uh-huh.
Every once in a while he did a recital. Pioneer. He was Extreme Championship Wrestling from 1993 to 2000. He was a 3-time world champion, having held the ECW World Heavyweight Championship twice and the NWA World Heavyweight Championship once. Under the tutelage of the Sheik. Began his career wrestling in North America independent scene in 1985 under the name of Sabu. Some of the other names he wrestled under were the Great Sabu the Elephant Boy, which I believe that's when he came in. He came into wrestling as Samu, Terry Snuka, Terry Bronk, and Sabu of the Jungle. I forget what SR standed for. Seriously, I forget what it is. Maybe it says it here. So Sabu, 60 some years old, last match just a couple weeks ago against Joey Janela. Of course, a hardcore match. Barbed wire, got knocked out during the match. I wasn't a big ECW fan, but I know that there were certain people in ECW that scared the absolute piss out of me. Can we name any of them?
Yeah.
Sandman, Sabu, New Jack.
You keep going.
Balls Mahoney.
But yeah, you keep going.
Ian and Axel Rotten.
Yeah, you can just keep going. The Dudley Boys. Even Spike's landing on his face all the time scared the shit out of me. I was not allowed to watch ECW wrestling. Most of the time because it was on 3:00 in the morning, but my mother would not let me watch ECW wrestling.
Yeah. So there was a match where Sabu got his bicep torn almost off by barbed wire. Didn't he take and wrap it with duct tape?
Yes, he did.
Athletic tape, but yes, like it's the barbed wire match. Him and Terry Funk for the ECW.
That's
title.
what it was. Yeah.
This was Terry Funk's last match too. His first of 7 final matches.
Yeah.
Was it the one where they threw the chairs in the ring at the end?
No, that was Terry Funk and Cactus Jack against Public Enemy. Flyboy Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge.
Gotcha.
But no, like you were saying, like I see for me because I'm a little bit younger, like I didn't see ECW. Like I was always a WWE guy starting out. I didn't even really know of the existence of WCW until I saw stuff on it in the late 90s. And it was when they put stuff on syndicated, because as I said before, I was not allowed to have cable growing up. So once all wrestling went off of normal syndicated television, I had no idea what the heck was going on. So it wasn't until high school that a buddy of mine, my friend Chris, gave me several VHS tapes that were like compilations of the best of ECW. And this is like 98, 99, 2000. So I had already missed everything of ECW up until that point. But when I first watched it, I was amazed and shocked. And ECW was insane. But the biggest insanity of it all was Sabu. You watching him do that triple jump moonsault, like watching him just put himself through tables, like guy'd roll out of the way and he'd still be in midair and just land, smack dab through a table. Watching him land in barbed wire and, like you said, rip his bicep open and stuff like that. And like it was right around. It was a few years later in the in the early 2000s that WWE started putting out their own compilation tapes of ECW after they bought the company. So I have in my DVD collection still ECW's Most Extreme Matches, and that's where I got to see the Terry Funk Sabu match and several other of Sabu's greatest hits. And guy was just nuts. Like, never seen anything like him before, and quite honestly, like, yes, we see the indie hardcore deathmatch people, but in my mind, there is never going to be another one like Sabu. Like, there are imitators, but there will always be only one Sabu, because while other guys can do it, nobody knew how to do it the way Sabu did it. And he learned from his uncle, the original Sheik, who, even though the original Sheik wasn't doing barbed wire matches, was doing a lot of that hardcore stuff in the Detroit territories, which was the Sheik's territory. And he learned a lot of that crazy stuff and just took it to a further level. But he learned a lot of that from his uncle. So yeah,
I always
that was
felt like with some of these hardcore matches, there's no real story, right?
yeah.
It's all about I don't know how much blood we can spill.
Just punishing each other.
I feel like with him there was a story behind
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
There was always some sort of story. So let me give you some of his accomplishments. And the guy's been around he started in '85, so there's a ton of accomplishments here. I'm not going to go through them all, but for ECW alone, of course, twice the world champion, the FTW heavyweight champion, which I got to hear Taz talk about the other day. Which is pretty cool. World television champion one time, tag team champions 3 times, Taz, Rob Van Dam, twice. He was King of the Hill and second ECW Triple Crown champion. Hardcore Hall of Fame in 2009. Actually, for the Philly WrestleCon, he was supposed to go to, and he was supposed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame there, and he no-showed him. And then after the match with Joey Janela, he actually. And I know you don't like Joey, and a lot of people don't like Joey, but if you get to watch this, go back and watch this thing with Joey talking to Sabu, because Sabu was his mentor. Like Joey really looked up to Sabu, and basically summing it up. He said, "You no-showed us at the Hall of Fame, so I'm going to do it right here." And he had the plaque and gave Sabu the plaque. So, which was a pretty cool moment. So, Juggalo Championship, heavyweight champion, NWA Florida, NWA heavyweight champion, independent world champion. I mean, the list goes on and on. You guys can go to his wiki. There's a billion. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. There was, I think he only had 3 matches in WWE, WWF.
No, it was WWE at that point because they brought him back.
WWE.
Well, actually, no, they did. So I think he might have had like 4 or 5 because he had a couple when they did the ECW Invasion, and then when they did the reboot ECW in the mid 2000s under the WWE brand, he came back and did several. Like, because I know he did that match with Rey Mysterio at
So here's his WWF 1993. Sabu made 3 appearances for the WWF or the WWF. He defeated Scott Taylor in a dark match on a Monday Night Raw. He lost to Owen Hart the next night on a dark match. Russell at a wrestling challenge taping in October, and he defeats. He defeated Scott Taylor again in another dark match. They're the only matches listed for WWF.
Really? So
yeah, that was a long while ago.
He wasn't a fan. And I don't think he wanted to be there in the first place. I think I just saw one today, just doing a little bit of research where he had there was a picture posted of Triple H and Stephanie, and he retweeted it and it said "ew."
Gross. That's a
Gross. So definitely a legend, definitely one of a kind. One of a kind. So and here's why I make mistakes. I've met Sabu twice. I briefly talked to him out of Vegas, basically to bullshit with him about his fucking bowling. I think I told him it was the worst bowling I ever fucking seen. Now, did you hear me tell him that?
I think so.
So our bowling lane blew, right? We were at the Nerd Bar. It was terrible. The bowling, whatever.
It wouldn't return the damn balls.
Yeah, it wouldn't return the balls. So we had like 4 more balls in our lane. Well, his didn't return a ball either, and he walked over. He said, "Are you going to use these balls?" I said, "Well, I mean, every time we throw a ball down, it fucking disappears." And he goes, "Well, I'm just going to take this one." He just snatched the ball from our lane. He walked over and he threw a strike. And I walked over and said, "Jesus Christ, that might be the worst fucking bowling I've ever seen." He just kind of looked at me. He didn't do that, but he just kind of looked at him and just kind of smiled at him. But I'd met him one other time at a show somewhere years ago. So, and he looked exactly the same. Honestly, he looked exactly the same. Rest in peace, Sabu. You will be missed by the community. Las Vegas guy. He lives out in that area. And frequented their nerd bar a lot. So I know they're going to miss him to death. So anyway, Sabu.
I bought him a shot of Jameson.
Oh, did you?
Nice.
Yeah. That's right. You got a picture with him. Yeah, you got a picture with him. Did he come to the wedding? Jesse thought he did, but I don't remember.
I don't think he was
I was drunk
in the room. Well, I think we all were pretty much. But I don't think he was in the room, but I mean, he was in the same area we were at.
Okay,
obviously.
yeah. Jesse thought he was he came in. So anyway. Rest in peace, Sabu. So all right, let's get into a little bit of backlash from this weekend.
5 whole matches from St. Louis. It started off with the Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. title. We got
best match on the card.
Yes, I agree.
Well, that was the right one to start the night off with and get everybody's blood flowing.
Yeah.
The Samoan Werewolf retains. He pins L.A. Knight. We get the introduction of Jeff Cobb, who is aligned with Solo Sikoa, and Damian Priest, South of Heaven choke slams Drew McIntyre through tables out in the crowd somewhere, and apparently he got knocked out.
He
missed the table.
He hit his head
hard.
Yeah. If you notice that spot, did you see one crash pad underneath those tables?
No.
Neither did I. When those tables broke, I was like, holy shit.
Well, and I mean,
shout out Sabu.
I was looking for it too, because I was like, when you see not to necessarily pull the curtain too far back, but when you see the tables with the tablecloth, you kind of are expecting it's covering something underneath.
Yeah.
And when they hit,
it was the floor.
Yeah. When they hit, and the way I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like there was anything down there. So they did that for freaking real, and more power to both of them. That was an insane spot. And I feel bad for Drew because I know he was out. They were evaluating him and stuff like that. Concussion, I think.
Probably.
So
Priest's done made sure glass went in his eye. Now he's gotten dropped on his head on concrete. Priest's gonna end up killing this man.
So we did get introduced to Jeff Cobb. If you don't know who Jeff Cobb is, fucking learn it. I started talking about him weeks and weeks ago when they first signed him. I've been following this guy for a very long time. My very first micro brawler was a Jeff Cobb micro brawler. My very first one. I've actually bought it in Vegas. So Jeff Cobb is a monster. If you ever watch Lucha Underground, Matanza, Quattro or whatever his name is, Keita, whatever it is, fucking monster. He worked under a mask there. Go back and look at those videos. I think Rob might have sent one in the chat. If you guys got to look at that, the guy is super strong, super powerful, and just is a monster. And he's going to be awesome. He does not look like a typical WWE guy.
No, I mean he look. You know who he reminds me of? Rhino.
I was thinking that a little bit.
Like he is short and
stocky,
squat, and just built to the gills, muscular. Not even muscular, but he's just he doesn't have massive definition, but you just know there's beef all up on that body of his, and it's good God.
Put your pants back on, Scotty.
But
and you talked about Jeff Cobb like you talk about Skyline Chili.
Yeah. That damn bolognese, baby. No, the other thing, very quickly, that I think is very interesting about this, that the bloodline, the new bloodline hasn't been the foremost thing since WrestleMania, but they're still doing stuff with Solo. They're still doing stuff with Jacob.
Well, the only two left.
Yeah, because the other two are injured. But here's the thing, though, that cracks me up a little bit. with everything going on in WWE, with all the different signings and the different ways they're starting to use people, this is just another FU to Tony, because they brought Jeff Cobb in on multiple occasions.
Do you remember the episode we talked about that where they brought him as an enforcer and they fucking buried him? I was like, there is no possible way you were burying Jeff Cobb.
Exactly.
They found a way.
Well, Tony will find a way to do the dumbest shit. We know that.
So, and now that, again, like I'm not saying that they're using him in a top spot right now, but the Solo versus Jacob Fatu stuff is still, in that mid range, and they bring him in, they find a perfect spot to utilize him, as and again, I'm looking for it because I know what's going to happen. They're going to put Cobb versus Fatu at some point because Fatu's going to break off from Solo.
Fatu has never beat Jeff Cobb in New Japan or anywhere.
No. I thought I saw he's 2-1 against Jeff Cobb.
I thought he was. I thought Cobb has beat him twice. Actually, I think Cobb took a title off of him.
Ooh.
I can't remember where I saw it, but yeah, I thought it said he was 2-1 against Cobb, or maybe it was the other way around.
I think
Cobb
there's
was
a couple
2-1
guys
against
in WWE that AJ Styles might have been one of them too. That Cobb has got a pretty good record against. Anyway, this guy's a monster. This guy's
he is.
More to come with Jeff Cobb.
I cannot wait.
I would almost rather him be aligned with Fought Jacob, but you can see that Jacob was not happy about Jeff Cobb being there. So
it is where Zilla comes in soon.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
So moving on, we go to the women's intercontinental title match. Lyra retains over Becky Lynch with a roll up. This became a false finish with the finisher after finisher after finisher kickouts. Yeah, I mean, this match was all right, but it's Becky Lynch. Like, I had already lost my interest in it just knowing she was in it. So
yeah, I originally picked Becky Lynch to win this, and I changed it at, like, I don't know, just changed it.
Because you watched Rick's picks and you realized Rick was right.
Yeah,
it's possible. I didn't feel like the way that SmackDown ended that it was going to favor Becky at all. So I went ahead and switched it.
I was surprised we got no Bailey.
Yeah.
There's no reason to overbook this match. Now you got to remember too that we're putting over a new talent. We're bringing Lyra up. We're putting over new talent with older talent. Becky, Charlotte, Bailey. So we're gonna see a lot of that, but it won't be long till Becky's in the middle of something with a title.
So then we go to, what was the third match? The men's intercontinental title match. Dirty Dom,
Penta.
That's
the one I did not watch.
It wasn't a bad match. Dom retains with the help of Judgment Day distracting the ref, and then when the ref goes to throw them out, El Grande Americano comes out with his plated mask and headbutts Penta off the top. And
we've seen this match, or we've seen this same finish and match like twice now, I think. So
I think we're gonna get to the Penta versus Americano mask for mask at some point.
Oof, man.
And when Chad Gable is not under that mask,
boy, people are gonna be so mad. People are gonna be so mad when they got to take Penta's mask off.
Did you see the clip where Adam Pearce says, "Hey, Americano," and Chad turns around away?
Yep.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, again, you gonna trip. He's gonna trip up every once in a while, but we all know the real story. We know it's not Chad Gable.
Yeah, no, it's Jonathan De La Crosse under that mask.
No, it's definitely not Jonathan. Jonathan's in better shape than Chad Gable.
So the match that kind of like stood out to me as being a little more surprising was our next one, Gunther defeating Pat McAfee. I really thought it was going to be an absolute just murder of McAfee.
Yeah.
And McAfee actually looked pretty good in this match.
Yeah.
And he gave him a battle.
Yeah, good match. Now, when that spot where Cole grabbed Gunther's feet and Pat was at the pin, I was like,
I was just sitting there like, mother of God, I just lost 4 points or
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
And I already did that. I already knew what the points were, and I thought he was going to lose. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, did I fuck up?"
And then in the hard way chat, Rob kind of brought up the thing that he thought Cole was going to turn, and then I was kind of thinking that it could have happened, but I don't know. Kind of glad
it
it
did.
didn't.
That
It
would have
did
been
have
terrible.
that. It did
Should have been
have
no
that.
reason to put Cole back in his singlet with his
Yeah.
headgear.
It did have that flavor for a sec. I was like, okay, something's gonna happen, and Cole's gonna punch the crap out of McAfee and cause him to lose the match, and it's just gonna
I
turn.
like that the only legitimate wrestler on commentary says, "Yo, you're on your own from here. I'm not
Yeah.
getting. I'm not getting in the ring.
Barrett.
I
So
got
Gunther,
bad news for you. I'm gonna sit right here."
somebody had to man the table.
That's right.
Gunther chokes out McAfee. They kept McAfee looks strong.
He
didn't
gave him the
tap.
Hulk Hogan treatment.
Yeah.
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 And then he gave the boys a little sign of respect after that and left the ring. Then we get our main event, which was Cena defeating Randy Orton for the Undisputed Championship. We knew that was going to happen. This match was better than I thought it was going to be as well. Thank God there was no Travis Scott. Instead, we
thank
got our
God.
truth.
Yeah,
But,
that was hysterical. I actually think that would have been better if they had done that at Mania. If Travis or if R-Truth had come down and cost Cody the title on accident or something like that instead of.
Oh no, that would have been terrible.
yeah, I mean, it was already terrible enough with Travis Scott.
Yeah, that'd have been terrible. Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna see Travis Scott for a while. I think that
Thank
the
God.
writing might have been on the wall there. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Maybe they put him in the training with Bad Bunny.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, the press conference at the end, R-Truth confronts John Cena, and John Cena puts him to a table.
He says, if you say one more word, there will be
I
repercussions.
like how you say is Ron. You say one more word, there will be repercussions.
I just think I find it funny. Ernest P. Worrell puts R-Truth through a table. That's
the next match, right? That's
Saturday night main event.
Main event.
I got a feeling.
Now here's the question.
Yes, Jesse Ventura will be there.
No, will little Jimmy be coming back?
Well, you won't see either of them, so him or Cena.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's got some spray tan on.
Is this where we're at now that John Cena gets Randy Orton and his next big match is Ron
Truth.
Killings? I mean, why are we?
I don't like it either, but they did have a rivalry, and I think that's where John is going. Is he's trying to hit some of his past rivals, those who are still working, anyways.
I say
I'd
let's
rather
put this
see
belt on
Sheamus.
R-Truth.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Gosh,
I will not be putting all my Saturday night main events picks on
R-Truth.
R-Truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say you should just put him up against Sheamus.
I don't know. They're gonna. I don't know who they're gonna finish this up with, because I don't know that you're gonna go back to Cody. It's possible. I don't know that they're gonna go back to Cody.
Well, CM Punk could be.
No, but he's wrapped up with Heyman and Seth, and that's gonna be a program for a while. I can't imagine.
We're talking end of the year now. We're only in May. Still got like what 7 more months. And supposedly the last like couple shows are going to be in his hometown in Boston.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a big fan of CM Punk holding this title either.
I don't want to see him hold the title either.
Yeah, I don't think he needs it. I don't think he needs to hold the title. But anyway,
he's done better without it. And I mean, again, I think there needs to be a slight chase for it, but not like, don't put him into the mix to the point where he has to have the title.
I just feel like when you see him come to the ring, and he's, again, older guy, right? Still can go. But when he comes to the ring, it is a different vibe. It's like, oh, someone's dad's loose, right? Someone let their dad out. That's what it seems like. Right?
Some tired guy just jumped the barricade.
Yeah. It's like everything's like sleeking. Like, I don't know. It's all right, I guess. Anyway, updated points at the Backlash from our predictions challenge. If you want to get into the predictions challenge, it is $5 a month. You go to our Patreon, click the link, click collections, click join today. $5 a month. If you're on iOS, if you join through your phone, for your Apple phone, they charge you extra money. Do not do that.
It's called
Go to-
asshole tax.
Yeah, it's right. They charge like an extra $250. Transfer some kind of fee. I don't know, but don't do that. Go to a laptop, go to a computer, go to Patreon, do it there. Did you guys talk Rusev yet? Just kidding. No, we did not talk Rusev yet because honestly, nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. But we're gonna get to that for Raw, I'm sure. So updated points at the Backlash again. If you want to join the prediction challenge, it's $5 a month. Can't beat it.
I told Jordan from Utz.
Yeah.
He said he's got a friend that always tells him how good he is at predicting the matches. I told him to get on our Patreon.
There you go.
Yeah, come along. I'll beat you down too. All right. Four-way tie for first place. 4 perfect cards. Myself, Randy, Ricky, and Scott all got perfect cards. If you're not listening to Rick's picks, fuck you doing?
What are you doing?
Jesse in 5th with 14, Rob with 14, Michael with 13, 11, and 11, John and Suze. So that's where we're at there. Still anybody's game. There's 3 more prediction challenge for this month. We have Saturday night's main event. We have an NXT
Battleground
and
Double or Nothing.
AEW. That's all in the same weekend.
Double or Nothing.
All in the same weekend. Yeah. So Double or Nothing could determine a new champion. So gonna be interesting.
It's not a half of nothing like the last 2.
Yeah. I honestly, I try to watch AEW. I've not done well with it. It's not been good. It's not been good. And they had their worst ratings ever. 500 and some thousand. It was like their second worst or their worst ratings ever.
I'm not sure, but is it Battleground going up against Double or Nothing?
Same night.
Yeah.
Yeah, same time. So we'll have to go to Randy's house. He's got 12 TVs.
Hopefully, I'll probably have to work, unfortunately.
And I will be in Indy.
Hopefully Tony offers some extra value meals with seats so he can fill them up.
Oh, well, Scotty, you said you're going to be in Indy crapping out Skyline Chili. Make sure that you get all 13 of your cards in that weekend.
Yes. Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'll make sure they're out on Thursday. I'll do them all on Thursday before I leave town.
That would be pretty nice.
Jesus. Anyway, let's get into Raw. Oh boy. So we get Punk at Rollins kick it off, or Punk kicks it off. He does his little Sabu tribute on the outside of the ring. He calls out Paul Heyman for betraying him. He did the whole screw you once, shame on me, screw you once,
screw me once,
you.
Shame on you, screw me twice, shame on me.
Yeah. It's hard for me to do it without saying fuck you, but anyway, yeah, he says he's going to squeeze Heyman's fat neck and make his eyeballs pop out. That had me cracking up.
Pay for that.
I wish he, like, I was waiting when I heard him start to do that. I was expecting more of a Cornetism, that he was going to squeeze his britches full, but never. That did not. I was like, oh man, I just expected that line when he's like, I'm going to squeeze that fat neck.
I would have died.
Yeah,
I would have died too. But anyways.
So anyway, Seth said he should be the world champion, and then Punk basically told him, as long as I'm around, you're not going to be a world champion.
As long as I'm on 2 feet, you're never going to be champion.
I hope they're not going to recycle this thing with Drew McIntyre and him, where every time Rollins has a title match or an opportunity that Punk costs him. Like, I don't want to see that.
I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
I can see them doing that, keeping
I just got
Punk
that vibe
as healthy as possible. Punk has probably had more run-ins and interferences than he's had matches since he's been back.
Yeah. And I just got that.
Fine. I'm okay with Dad doing stuff like that. It keeps him, go mow the lawn, go take out the garbage, do that kind of stuff. I don't need you doing household chores. I don't need you out there building shit.
So after that, Seth and Braun go attack Punk, and then Sami Zayn and Jey Uso run in and make the save. So they announce that on Saturday night main event, it's going to be Rollins and Braun Breaker against Sami Zayn and CM Punk.
I think this could be a good match.
Yeah. I'm
That
looking
should be
forward
a
to that.
kickoff the night match.
I think we find out who the third member is.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting too.
And
Yeah.
will it
expecting them
be prediction? Real quick. Who will it be? Scotty, go.
Ooh, gosh,
Not quick enough. Ricky, go.
no clue.
I mean, I always felt like they were going to align Logan Paul with them because they got Jey Uso on the other side.
Sami Zayn.
Ooh, a turn?
I almost feel like that could be possible too.
Wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Wouldn't see it coming.
So
Back
anyway,
with the wise man.
so we get Pat McAfee returns to commentary, which again I was shocked. I thought he was moving on to College Game Day,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was surprised too. I was like, Rick, don't listen to Rick's picks. He was wrong.
but apparently not yet. And the crowd gave him a standing O for his performance at Backlash. First match tonight, we get Penta defeating Chad Gable, not Grande Americano.
No, he was on assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on a Mexican tour. He's on the tour of Mexico.
Did you notice during the
Which is
match?
weird. If he's from Mexico, he's not really touring. He's going home.
Yeah.
Maybe say that the correct way so people don't think he's Chad Gable. I don't know.
During the match, he goes, "I hate luchadors," and he has not beaten one yet. Then after the match, Dominic tells Balor that he hesitated at Backlash, nearly costed him the Intercontinental title when Finn had the chair and didn't attack. Now Finn said Dom's get paranoid like Rhea and Priest were, and that they were champions and things will work out in the end. Creed brothers defeat the War Raiders in their tag team match. New Day was commentary at ringside. They ended up helping with some distraction from Xavier Woods. Kofi gets up and punches. I get them mixed up. It's Ivar.
Ivar and Eric.
Yeah, Ivar was up on the top. He gets punched, and then he takes the what do they call that back elbow doomsday device looking thing.
I feel like that they're gonna put these tag titles on the Creed brothers.
I think so.
I think that the Viking Raiders or what do they call them now?
War Raiders.
War Raiders are going to cause Kofi and them to lose their title. Love Xavier Woods' hair, by the way.
And I still can't get used to
Kofi not having an accent.
Yeah, no, well, yes, Kofi not having an accent, but Kofi not having a mustache. Like it's still the weirdest thing. Just having down here, it's like
his upper lip looks like his chest does now.
Yeah. maybe you should give him Vince McMahon's old mustache.
Oh, Rhett Butler.
Oh, yeah.
So next we get
Frankly, Kofi, I don't give a damn.
Austin Theory tells Grayson Waller that he talked to Adam Pearce to return his favor from last week, and Grayson will now have a match with Sheamus.
Sheamus looking good and white.
So we get Jey Uso addresses his match with Logan Paul, which has been announced for Saturday Night Main Event.
Sheamus is like a Pokemon. He's like that, like reverse hollow. He's like a wrestler reverse hollow. I give that Scotty will get that one. That's for Scotty.
Like I said in the
Sheamus is a hollow.
Like I said in the chat the other
God.
night, like if they had Sheamus versus John Cena, I'm gonna have to wear sunglasses to watch it. It's gonna be like a damn solar eclipse.
Like two tubes of toothpaste fighting.
Like I said in the chat the other night, the three whitest men in wrestling: Sheamus, John Cena, and Double A Adam Armstrong. Yeah, I said it.
I don't appreciate
I said
it. I don't appreciate it at all. That's my best friend.
So
by the way, why did he have a hickey on his neck the other day? He was red right here, and I think you two were making out.
I'll give you a hint though. It's pussy, right? He's the man. The man gets ladies. The man gets the ladies.
So
he also curled his hair. He probably did a curl in his hair.
So you were dressed up in a dress the other night then?
I would give him a hickey.
That part of the bacon didn't flip over in the pan and it burnt. Anyway, so Gunther comes out and interrupts Jay and tells him now that he's done with McAfee. It's time for him to go back after his world title. That Jay is weighing on the fact that he's not a natural champion like Gunther because he spent 80% of his time in WWE as a champion, and that he talked to Adam Pearce and he's going to take on the winner of Jey Uso and Logan Paul from Saturday Night Main Event on the June 9th episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
They do a video tribute of Sabu's career after that, and then we get a backstage segment where Braun Breaker attacks Jey Uso. Earlier, Seth Rollins was leaving, and he told Breaker a secret before he went, apparently to go have some fun. And yeah,
You know what he said? He said, Jack Gable's not Americano. That's what he told him.
gracias.
Si, senor.
Then we get AJ Styles defeats Finn Balor. During the match, JD and Carlito involved yet again. Penta comes out, jumps the barricade to even things up. Styles gets the win. Then we get a segment of Becky Lynch coming out, whining and screaming. Don't care.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What happened to Trish Stratus?
She went back into she goes back into retirement until they tour Toronto again.
They
Yeah.
had her out. They brought her out before WrestleMania and made it feel like they were gonna do something with her, and then we never saw her again.
Everybody was
Okay.
stratified, I guess. Pierce announces that there will be a triple threat world tag title match with the New Day, Creed Bros, and War Raiders. I don't know if you said it was next week on Raw. Our boy Akira Tozawa then goes
No,
to
isn't that Saturday Night's Main Event? Isn't that a
Was
Saturday
it?
Night's Main Event?
I might have been up.
Oh, you know what? They might not do it because that would be 2 tag team matches on a Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I got up to use the bathroom or something and missed that segment. Then your boy Tozawa goes to ask Adam Pearce for a match against Rusev. Oh boy. What did I say when they brought him in? They'd probably put him up against Otis and Tozawa.
Yep.
Well, there you go,
Yes.
Marvin. We're on Rusev watch.
Yeah.
They are gonna let him run through every catering table person that they have at the WWE. They ran through Otis. They ran through Tozawa. Who's next? Who's the next big opponent for Rusev?
Maybe they put him up against Goldberg.
Can you imagine those two trying to talk out a match? Not a chance.
Yeah, no, that
I
never
hope not.
happened.
So Sheamus comes over, then agrees, gives Tozawa props for standing up for himself. That's going to be a freaking squash match.
Do we
obviously.
get since this interaction happened with Tozawa and Sheamus, do we get a squash match with Rusev and Tozawa? Of course we do. But then Sheamus comes out and
Stands
to
up for
help
Rusev.
Tozawa. Yeah. Because
I kinda
remember
got
those
that
guys used to
feeling.
be together. United Nations. What was their group?
League
It was
of
them and
Nations.
Alberto
Yeah,
Del Rio and
The League of Nations.
League of
League of
Nations.
Nations.
Cesaro.
And Wade
Wade
Barrett,
Barrett.
too.
No, it was Barrett, Del Rio, Sheamus, and Rusev.
Rusev. No Cesaro.
No, Cesaro was not in that. That was him and Sheamus when they were at the bar. Yeah.
Gotcha.
We get to our main event.
And that is your Rusev talk for today.
Yeah. At least Aleister Black over on SmackDown's getting Miz and Carmelo Hayes.
Jesus.
And by the way, funny enough, I think Miz will be getting written off television here soon.
Yes.
Because apparently, yep, American Gladiators is coming back. Which
I can't wait.
I love that show.
So did
Please
I, yes.
shoot tennis balls at me at high speed.
See, honestly, and here's the thing. Okay, and just a very quick side note. I will make this very quick. But that is what got me into Nerf originally, is because I love that idea of like, ducking and dodging. And I mean, yeah, I'm too fat to do it now, but I love the idea of the getting pelted with tennis balls and you have to shoot back and try to score a target. Like Assault was
He got
always
that
my,
out of his he got that out of his mouth while I was drinking, so I couldn't throw it out there first.
Scotty, I thought you were gonna say this started your dating life. Balls shooting at you.
No, I loved Assault growing up as a
Same
kid. I thought
here.
it was my favorite event that they ever did. So
They had a good series on Netflix when American
Yes.
Gladiators came. But you actually remember the last toy is almost a year ago that they brought that Netflix show out. And remember the toys? You could
Yes.
buy the toys still carded for like nothing, like $1, and they all went up to like $20 a figure.
Yeah,
Everybody was
they
trying to
all
collect all the American
jumped at
Gladiators.
like a couple of the play sets jumped to like $200.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like wow. So, but yeah, sorry, Miz will be hosting American Gladiators, which I think is going to be interesting considering I would never like Miz is not the size of an American Gladiator, so what the heck? But okay.
He's got the face and the voice of a talk show host, though.
Yeah. He's the size of one of those American dolls, though.
Anyway, so we get to our main event for the night, the tag team match between Julia and Roxanne Perez. They lose to Io and Rhea. And then
I was
after
surprised
the
that
match,
that's pretty much it for that, right? I mean,
after the match, Rhea raises Io's hand with the world title in the middle, and she gives it a stare down. So that's something that's going to be revisited, I think, at some point as well.
baby. Probably SummerSlam.
Yeah,
could be.
I can see that.
Yeah. So not a bad Raw. I mean, we're advancing stories. So anyway, if you're just coming across this, we were not live on YouTube today, but I will upload this here soon. As soon as you see this, though, go like and subscribe. We love talking about wrestling. We're just a bunch of dudes talking about wrestling and balls flying at your face.
Scotty's food habits of weird stuff on spaghetti.
We didn't even get into that. We'll get into that. Scotty's going to Indy. He goes to Indy every year. He loves himself some Indy racing. Definitely never getting one of those
500 left turns.
Yeah. You know, my favorite part of racing is the right turn.
Yeah.
That's the one everyone's looking for. The right turn.
Right turn. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll have this will be the only time we're on this week. A lot of I'm crazy busy at the end of this week with wedding stuff. Double weddings this weekend. So but we'll be back next week.
How many women are you getting married to, dude? You just got married to Jesse.
I line them up where I get women and midgets, whatever I can pile into one car.
They cost half.
Yeah. They do. They really do. Here's what I suggest, though. If you're a wrestler, an independent wrestler or whatever, if you see us getting married, don't come because something might happen. We don't want to talk about it. So anyway, appreciate you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.
Dwarf Dong Sucker.
That's it.